Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei Extras. Today we're going to be looking at the best and worst team of every Block Wars event that is in the creator portion and not all of Origins, because I do not have the effort, energy, and time to do that. I was asked to talk more about Block Wars by one of you guys in the comment section. I do not have the comment open, so I cannot show it. But today, I'm just going to talk about Block Wars teams and the best ones that I think were made, or the best one from every single event, and then the worst one from every event. Now, a little context or a little disclaimer, I guess. Not every event will have a team that I think is bad or a team that I think is good. I will also try to provide a reason behind why I think every specific teams were good or bad. All right, starting off, the best team of Block Wars 1. I've opened up a tab for every single one of these. Actually, try to zoom in so it's a little bit easier to see. The best team for Block Wars 1, I think, is going to be the Teal Turtles, which is Misty, CPK, Captain Sparkles, Ant Venom, and Kara. I think this is just a very well made team. I think it works really well, and yeah, a very cool team. I think it'd be really fun to, well, okay, I was going to say it would be really fun to run back, but I don't think it would be balanced in Block Wars nowadays. Obviously, the event has changed a lot over time. I don't think a team like that would be fair nowadays, but it would be cool to see it return, or just see something like that return. I think the worst team probably for this event would be maybe Orange, because I think, or at least as far as I remember, it had a lot of complications while it being made, which I will not get into, and you know, it would have been nice if it worked out better. But regardless, I think it's a fun team, though. I think the way it turned out was very fun. I think, as far as I remember, they had a great time. But yeah, that's probably the team I would nominate for worst this event if I had to pick, probably. All right, that's Block Wars 1 done. Moving on to Block Wars 2. You got these teams. I think, let's see, what can we cook up here? Okay, well, the best team here would be probably Pink. I think Pink makes sense for the best team. I think the introduction of Illuminous, Mant, and Fur were all very welcomed at the time. It just had some underperformances, which caused it to be, I think, potentially even last. Did it place last? It got second to last. Which also leads us to the worst team, which was the one that got last. Worst team is Yellow, because yet again, it had a lot of complications while it was being made. I think it was made, and then a lot of stuff came up, and then a bunch of substitutes and whatnot just ended up being a little bit of a mess. But I think they had fun regardless, so yeah, that's Block Wars 2, best and worst. Best team, Pink. Worst team, Yellow. Next up, Block Wars 3. Let's see, what do we have here? Block Wars 3, I would say, oh, well, the best team has to be Purple, but it also is the worst, so I don't know. Thing is, no, because the thing is, right, you would say that Purple's the worst team because of how bad they did, but it's not really because of the team. I think the team is really cool. I think it's a really cool team. It's just that the event at the time was not very welcoming for a team that wasn't balanced. So it was just complicated. I think the best team would be... I really like Lime Team. I think Lime Team was very good. Obviously, it was super strong, but it worked out really well. It had some interesting combinations of people, and I think yeah, it just had it worked well. It was nice. So yeah, that's probably my nominations for Block Wars 3. Block Wars 4, best and worst teams. Well, okay, I think the best team is it is kind of up in the air, but it's kind of obvious. Pink team Block Wars 4 is one of the best teams we've ever made. It was fantastic. I actually think it did pretty well, right? It got third, which is, and it not by a lot either. This was not a very unbalanced event. This is actually pretty well made. I just realized that, except for Purple. But Purple also is our worst candidate here. Pink team was actually so fire. It was such a sick team. I would love to run it back. I don't... Actually, wait. That team nowadays would be really strong. Because I think what ended up happening is that... let's see. Pete got like 6th. The 5-up got like 10th. Fur 15. Sleepy 17. Ape 33rd. I think these placements would be relatively similar now if it happened again. There was just other teams that were just way stronger. Because I think the team... Yeah, so Blue and Aqua ended up getting... Or Blue and Teal, I should say. Ended up getting 1st and 2nd. Blue team was just broken. That was just a very big oversight in team balancing. Crazy strong. And then Teal... I don't remember what happened with Teal. Teal just did really good, apparently. Purple Greninja is a very strong duo. And then they just had 2 middle placing and then Eret. So I guess having Purple Greninja as a duo was just enough to carry this team to 2nd place. That's crazy. Anyway, so yeah, Pink's the best team. Purple's the worst because what happened again? I think we heavily... Okay, oh, I remember. So we used Toby's stats, right, for balancing. And then Toby, I think, played from a laptop in, like, America, I think. So he had a way worse setup to play with, which heavily impacted the way that the team could perform. And then there was also a sub, I think, with, I think, Lewis subbed in for Callum. That was also, like, I think was pretty last minute. I think this might have been around one of the TwitchCons. Was it? No, right? No, this wouldn't have been around the TwitchCon, I think. I don't remember what it was. Something happened, so people just couldn't make it. I think both Callum and Toby were going to that place. It's just that Toby ended up actually playing. So yeah, that's the worst team, I guess, for Block Wars 4 would be Purple, just because it had a couple of unfortunate events take place that caused it to do not very well. Alright. Block Wars 5, best and worst. Ooh, this one's tricky. I think the best would probably be Red. Red team was just sick. Like, it was just such a cool team. Okay, well, if we take whatever we take into consideration, Aqua team would probably be the worst because it had 2 substitutes and then Shane dropped out because of balancing concerns. I think what happened was originally it had Ghosty and Puffy, I think, on the team, if I remember correctly. I think both of them just ended up not being able to make it. And then Shane had to drop out, so there was a lot of stuff that happened. Unless, is this the right team? No, this is not the team. No, this is a different team. This wait, no, I just saw Toby on the team, and I thought that was the same team. No, that's Block Wars 6. No, Block Wars 5. Aqua team was goofy as hell. But it was really funny. Anyways, ignore what I just said. So Aqua is not the worst team. Probably. Okay. Now, I'm gonna nominate Yellow as the worst team because... Or do I nominate Yellow or Lime? I was gonna say Yellow team because we heavily underestimated the pop-off potential of that team, and it ended up doing extremely well. I think it swept, right? Oh no, it didn't. No, Red and Yellow just both swept. Never mind. We also heavily overestimated or underestimated how crazy that Red team would be. Lime would probably be the worst because I think it ended up doing really bad. Yeah, it ended. I don't remember what happened. It was just like the bouncing was a little off. I don't remember why exactly. But it seems like a fun team. I think it might have also been like people being on different setups. Anyways, Block Wars 6. This one's pretty easy. Best team is Pink. Pink team is so fire. Having a team like Pink in Block Wars 6 was kind of crazy. There was a little downside to Pink, which was just that it did bring some balancing issues with it. I would have loved to see Pink play in an event that was a bit more balanced towards them. But unfortunately, that was not the case. And then there's actually... this is one of my favorite rosters I think we did in general. But probably the worst team would be red. We heavily overestimated how good Clownpierce would do, unfortunately. I think we ended up we put Clown as like a predicted like top 10 guaranteed because he just has a reputation of being insane. He did not get top 10 guaranteed, and that just caused the team to be very underpowered. So that was a big oversight on our end, unfortunately. But yeah, other teams that I would nominate for best teams here is Lime. Lime was really cool. I think Blue's a pretty cool team as well. So yeah, very interesting. Moving on, Block Wars Pride 23. This one is also very interesting. Which one would I say is the best and worst here? I really like Red Team. I think Red Team is a pretty good cook. Orange worked out really well. Yellow, I guess, could be a contender for maybe worst because it also had a bit of complications occur. Pink Team, I think, ended up really fine, really well. Lime Team also had some complications, but it was fine. It was a cool team. So yeah, I'd probably say Yellow would be the worst just because of the unfortunate things that ended up happening. And then I would say Red is the best. Red was a really fun, well-made team. They actually did pretty solid, I think, in the event as well. All right, moving on. Block War 7. This one's also pretty easy. At least the worst team is very easy. The worst team here was the Capybaras Rojos. Because we heavily with like triple capital letters heavily overestimated how well they would do. It was pretty bad. It was very unfortunate. That team was made super early on, and we just ended up having to balance teams very differently. And it was unfortunate. It was really unfortunate. But I hope that they give it another shot. Maybe not as a full team. Maybe as a full team, just in a different event. But yeah, Magma Boy, I think, was so the way it was done, when Magma Boy was invited, I was told that Magma Boy is a speedrunner, so we were like, oh, that's like a top 15 player. And then Shadoon I'm very familiar with. I was like, Shadoon probably will do really well in this roster. He's probably going to be like top 15, maybe top 10, near that. Captain Gazo's probably in the middle. Kendo and Star VTuber, we had like, I think like a lower mid. And it ended up being balanced on our sheets, or like maybe slightly underpowered. That was a big blunder. The balancing ended up being very different. Anyway, so that's the worst team of Block Wars 7, unfortunately. And the best team, I really like my team. I really like Pink. I thought Pink was a very cool team. I'd probably pick Pink for best team, or maybe Purple. It's kind of hard. Like there's a lot of cool like stuff here. Like Lime was a cool team too. Like Lime was pretty much an entire like Minecraft YouTuber team, which is really fun. My team was just like MCL with Mina, which was like cool. Pink, I think, is probably still my pick. Yeah, Pink is just a very unique team. I think it is really cool. And then Purple was just... Purple's a 4-stack plus Ollie, so I don't really know how much credit we could take for that one. Anyways, moving on. Final team, actually, or final event. Block Wars Rookies. Best and worst teams of rookies. I'm going to say that the best team, honestly, for me personally, is mine. I really liked my team this event. It worked out really well. Chemistry was really solid. We just had a really fun time. Everyone was engaged. We had just it worked. It just worked, which was nice. Worst team here, I'd probably nominate a couple. Not because they're bad, but because within rookies, there was some stuff that was like a little meh. Red team was just way too strong at the end. The sub-ins that we had to do there just did not end up being fair, unfortunately. So that was a little silly. But I mean, it's a fun team. It's just like not fair in rookies, at least. Purple team is also there, not because of subs, because there was a massive oversight, mostly by me, pretty much only by me, which was that I predicted Kyle to be a mid player because in normal Block Wars he's a mid player, and forgot that this was going to be a way lower balancing, so he ended up getting 4th, which obviously was a little bit of a problem. That made the team very strong. And then I would put Pink in there as well. This wasn't really in my control, but Pink ended up being just a massive oversight for how strong it would be, or at least it ended up being a little bit too weak, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the best and worst team of every Block Wars event. Let me know which teams you enjoy the most, and if you want to share your thoughts on which ones you enjoy the least, you can do that too. But if you enjoy one the most, you have a higher chance of getting a heart from me, because I like positivity. Alright, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all later again. I've done way too much recording today. It's been like an hour and a half total. Alright, anyways, see you all later. Goodbye!